Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 65 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where today I'm taking a little bit of a break from the mechanism reactor, right? So last episode, we got the big reactor built, we had a little bit of a nuclear meltdown. I did find out, by the way, that there actually was something of two bugs that caused kind of the situation. I want to explain what happened there because I did some research into what happened. I talked to the mod author. We figured it out. So two things happened. One, there is a bug with the dumping excess button here. It was basically broken in this version of Mechanism and is fixed in the next version. So dumping excess button don't work so great. It dumps excess steam rather than dumping excess energy, so the whole thing shuts down when it shouldn't. So basically, yes, that was a bug. So ha ha ha. And number two, my deaths. So the radiation suit should have protected me from the radiation in this area, and it did. What happened was the small nuclear reactor that we had here, that I've since dismantled because we don't really need it anymore, was so critically heated it was exploding. And what should have happened is the thing should have just exploded and made a mess. However, FTB chunks, I claimed this area, and as a result, FTB jumps blocks explosions from happening, like with creepers. So the block was exploding and then not being destroyed, so exploding again, and then not being destroyed and not exploding again. So that's why it said I exploded for my death cal. So it just constantly was exploding but not stopping. So that's what was killing me over and over again. So it was the claiming of the chunks combating with the explosion mechanic. So that's also going to be fixed in an upcoming version of Mechanism. It's gonna detect that kind of thing and not continuously explode. So that's what was causing me to die over and over again and prevent me from getting in here to access my stuff. So I guess if I had put some explosion resistance on the Mechanism suit, the radiation suit, the hazmat suit, that might have helped me to survive to shut the thing down. But meh. Long story short, big mess. All fixed. Definitely were bugs, though, so nobody yell at me about having to use creative mode to clear it, because it shouldn't have happened if dumping excess was behaving the way it should have. So not my fault. Hashtag Dire doesn't cheat. So anyway, I want to take a break from this at the moment, because as you can see, I am low on fissile fuel. What? I'll tell you exactly why I'm low on fissile fuel. We are out of sulfur. And remember, we're getting sulfur dust from charcoal, which is coming from wood, and we're out of wood. So what I've decided to do, as you can see here, is get rid of my golem who keeps getting stuck and do something new. And I cleared out a nice big area right next to my create windmill because today we're going to use the create cart system to create a tree farm. Haha, how cool does that sound? So if you guys didn't see my mod spotlight on create, basically remember the frame machine I made that moves with pistons? You can create something similar with mine carts, and it'll basically move a giant multi-block system on a minecart following a rail. So we're going to build one of those today to do a tree farm, and it's going to plant trees for us in an area and then harvest them. Does that sound cool? I hope so, because that's what we're doing. All right, let's get started. So let's start with, we'll build a basic cart system, right? Using some powered rails and some all the other things, maybe little levers and some rails and all that good stuff to make a cart go around in a circle. So that sound like a nice start? Or maybe not even a circle, but we'll figure it out. So what do I want to do here? Let's do like rows of 3 for saplings. So basically what we're going to want, and I'm going to move like not too close to this thing, right? I'm going to see if we can make it like, several rows of 3. Might be cool. I like this plan. And we'll make sure that you've got a decent bit of power here. And then I'm just going to have enough power here every now and then. And you can tell Dire almost never plays with minecarts anymore. I used to back in the day, to be fair. To be fair, I used to play with minecarts quite a bit. What did I do back here? I want to kind of emulate this. So 2 and then 3 and then 2, right? I used to play with minecarts, all kinds of craziness. Did anybody remember booster carts? Anybody remember that? Remember when you used to do booster carts? For anybody who doesn't remember, because it means you didn't play exceedingly long ago, because booster carts were fixed a long time ago. Booster carts basically made it so that if you had two carts next to each other, they would like boost each other kind of deal. And it was pretty bananas, but it was a lot of fun. Hey, wow, I made the perfect amount of rails. That's pretty cool. So that's step one. I'm going to build just a basic little rail system to move things around. And then we can throw a cart down on here, and then whee! And he should spin around in a nice circle, except that I forgot a lever. Okay, that works. Step one complete. Yeah, booster carts were, like, awesome. I had a lot of those, like, really early on in my, probably before I was even doing Minecraft videos, did I have a lot of those. So, step one complete, making booster cart. I'm debating if I want to have some kind of stopping mechanism here. Let's see, what kind of tracks or rails? Are there one-way launcher rails? I think there are. And I think Create adds them. Yes, controller rail. A unidirectional powered rail capable of fine control over a minecart's movement speed. When powered by redstone, accelerates or decelerates passing minecarts corresponding to the signal strength. Propagates redstone power to adjacent controller rails. Powering two controller rails with different strengths will cause tracks between them to interpolate their signal. That's a cool thing. Let's make a couple of these. Right? Let's make a couple of these. And I might just have... What I will probably have is a little bit of fun here. That should be cool. Sweet. That should be good, right? Yeah. Now it's a unidirectional thing. Alright, so that's step one. So let's stop you. And now if I start you again, will you launch? Yes. Perfect. So now we have an on-off switch for our railcart system. Exactly what I want, right? Boom, he stops, boom, he goes. And that's not something you can do with standard powered rails, so that's a good start. Cool. So the next thing we want to take a look at is the cart assembler. So this guy's awesome sauce. We're going to pop him there. And the cart assembler will allow any cart that travels through it, if the cart assembler is receiving a redstone signal, to pick up a multi-block structure above it and turn it into an entity the same way the piston system works. So just like this whole thing turns into an entity and starts moving, the cart will pick up whatever's on top of it and do the exact same thing. So the exact same mechanics with linear chassis and radial chassis and all that stuff is what happens. So for example, if we popped a linear chassis right on top here, and then we used some super glue, right? And then we had like 1, 2, and then a chest on top, maybe. Did I bring chests with me? I may not have. Chest go here. And remember, because it's a linear chassis, if we look at this with a wrench, we can see that it's a range of 8. We can see everything's covered there. So now when we activate this, the cart's going to pick it up. Boom. And he turns into that. Cool, right? And now that whole structure is moving around. And we can do everything that we've done, just like with miners and the harvesters here. All the same shenanigans can be done. So we've already played with harvesters. We've already played with miners. Today we're going to play with deployers to place saplings and saws to cut down trees. And then we're also going to build a system that will extract the resources out of the chest on this thingy and be ready to dump it into my AE system or refined storage system so that we can store all the wood and saplings and sticks and all that stuff. Alright, so what we're going to do is not that, because that's pretty boring, but if we remove the redstone signal here, boop, it turns back into regular blocks. Cool? So it's an entity when it's moving on the cart, it's regular blocks when we remove it. Pretty cool, right? And then we can go stop this dude, and we're groovy. Alright, so let's start with getting radial chassis popped down. So we might want to do... Okay, so this is still my linear chassis. So linear chassis to radial chassis looks good, right? So basically what we want to do is have deployers drop in saplings. So now because you're a radial chassis, you can go in a radius around this block and have blocks, and that's kind of cool. So what we could have is maybe a 1, a 2, a 3. And if we look at this guy, is he going to highlight for me? Oh, you know what I need to do? Glue. And now he'll highlight. Nice. Okay, cool. So what I'm thinking is 3 there with deployers underneath facing downwards-ish. Right? And what we want to do is rotate them. So I get the impression I need to hit this from the side, right? There we go. And maybe you should be placed in a way that's less derpy. Kind of want everybody facing the same way, right? Just for aesthetic reasons. Now, before I do that, I should probably have sticky glued the bottom of these dudes. So that's probably better. Sweet. All right. Now, on each of these, and again, I'm getting the impression I'm not doing this well, but I should throw saplings. Okay. And that will tell the deployers, hey, you're supposed to deploy saplings. Now, where can I place them? I might have to put it on the bottom, actually. Or, well, on the side with the fist. Cool. So if I pop into here real quick. Yes, this is where we put the filter. So we're going to filter saplings. Cool. And then what we can have is a chest sitting here with saplings in it. So now if I activate this redstone signal, and I'm just going to give you like 6 saplings to start with. So this is test 1. Will you deploy my saplings for me? Ah, I missed the stickiness. I always miss the stickiness. I always forget that part. I don't know how, but I feel like I always do. I should have the glue in my offhand, to be fair, and that would be smarter. Alright. Sort of-ish. I would have expected that to work. He may be too low. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is move everything up 1. That sound fair? So we're going to do this. We're just going to move it all up 1 because I think there needs to be a gap. You know what I'm also going to do? Because I'm smart. I'm going to put this in my offhand. So I'm pretty sure there needs to be a gap in between the ground and the deployers so that they have room to place. That seems smart to me, right? Okay. And then you're going to get a chest here with the sticky. We're going to throw some saplings in. You're ready to do that, and then you're ready to go. There you go. That's what I like to see. Perfection. That is perfect. That is perfectly cool. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Nice. All right, so let's turn that off so that you can go back to a block form. And then you stop moving. All right, so the next thing we're going to want to have are saws. So let's do some linear chassis here, but not that direction. I should really be using my wrench for that. Because wrench equals good break. Yes. No, you still don't want to place nicely, do you? Well, let's just do something like this. And then we can place them like this. Well, then you're not going to be good, are you? Cool. All right. And then I don't need you no mores. And that stuff go away. Cool. All right. And then what we're going to want, I'm kind of feeling like super glue by hand, maybe. So how should we do this? I'm going to throw these guys here. And then we want saws to go here. But facing the other direction. Cool. Now, your linear chassis, we don't want you to hit the dirt under that, so I'm going to want you to only be 3-ish. Hold control for all of them. So 3 will be that. 2 would be this, right? 3 is that. And we do have glue underneath those guys, so that should be cool. So what we should have now, if we activate this and start him, is he should be moving nicely. Beautiful. So let's get some saplings in there. And let's also get some bone meal so we can test this. Fair. So we're going to throw a few saplings in. And now if we activate the cart, and then we grow any one of these saplings here into a tree. There you are. What should happen is he should come across, the saws should start cutting down the tree, and then he should continue along his way. Beautiful. Now it's important for you to place the saws on the bottom level there. And the reason for that is if you don't, they only cut down the trees above the saw's cut point. So if the saw was any higher, it would leave a block space on the bottom, right? Like, it would leave one piece of wood on the bottom. So saw on the very bottom there is important. And look at that. It's already tree farming, because the saplings we're collecting from cutting down the wood are going into the chest, and the chest is used to deploy more saplings. So we've already designed a self-expanding tree farm. Like, we're done-ish. We're done-ish, right? But this is pretty cool, right? I like it. It's pretty awesome. And it's definitely a lot more fun to build, right? I mean, this is cool. Super cool. I'm just testing it a little bit to make sure everybody, you know, stays groovy. They should. They super should. That is neato. That is neato burrito right there. All right, you. Actually, no. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Woot! We caught him. No more tree growth, please. Now you can just become a regular cart, and everybody's good. All right, sleeping time. Now, if we look inside this chest, we should see apples, sticks, and a copious amount of wood. Nice. So I'm just going to store this stuff over here with the rest of our things from our previous tree farm. And sweet. Now let's talk about how can we get the resources out of this chest without stopping the whole cart system. So for that, from Create, we are going to need the portable storage interface. Dun, 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 dun. So the portable storage interface is an interchange point for moving items to and from a structure moved by a piston, bearing, minecart, or pulley. Two meeting interfaces have it to face each other and be spaced 1 to 2 blocks apart. While moving, it interacts with the stationary portable storage interface to transfer items to or from the contraption. Components inserting into or extracting from the stationary interface will interact with the inventories on the contraption directly. The structure will briefly stall as items are exchanged. When powered by redstone, disengages any active connection immediately. All right, cool. So long story short, he should be able to take items off the moving frame and store them inside a chest of some kind. So let's see how that works. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure... Hey, don't do nothing to me right now. Let's take you off my hotbar until we actually need you. This thing can stick you to this and do that. And then what we want it to do is dump things. So let's have him, like, you know, a couple blocks apart here. Like that. That'll be a nice... That's 1 block apart. That should be cool, right? We'll see how that looks. Now, I don't think he'll auto-extract is the problem. So if we want it... Let's test it, but I'm pretty sure this won't work. Pretty sure this won't work. Okay? So you activate... You activate. Yeah, see, he didn't auto extract. See, the connection occurs, but he doesn't extract automatically. So what we need to do I probably shouldn't have placed any of the saplings in there, but whatever. What we need to do is extract from this guy into something. So let's see what we need to do, and I'm thinking I might want to do this on the opposite side of the world. And by world, I mean minecart system. So we could have this, like, for example, here. And the deployer thingy come here and a little close. I think I kind of like when they are a little bit apart, so they can kind of make sure that you can see that connection thing happen, because to me it's just the coolest thing. It's like, hey, that looks neat. So what we'll do then is, I think what we need is probably, do we need a funnel, or do we need, I'm trying to do this without belts. With belts, I know we could do it with the thingy, right? Brass funnel, that might be it, right? Yeah, I think brass funnel is it. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't think that these guys can directly between inventories, can they? Not 100% sure. So let's try chutes, because I feel like chutes might be where this is at. And that might be cool. And the cool thing about chutes is I can just do this vertically. I'm not sure if chutes will work here. I don't know that I've ever tested this, but that's the first time for everything. All right, so if I were to put some chests and some dirt in you, for example, and we get this turned on, you're going to go there. You've got the inventory. Now you're going to come across here. You're going to connect, and then you're going to resume. Hooray! Chests and dirt. It's chests and dirt. Oh, look who it is. My favorite, like, every other episode visitors. Hello, friends. Goodbye, friends. I don't know the frequency with which these guys are supposed to show up, but it seems higher than rare. It doesn't seem rare, let's put it that way. You know, maybe I'm crazy. I also don't want to have bad omen on me. You know there's going to come a time where Dyer says to himself, hey, I really want to do a villager raid. I hope some raiders show up. And then they won't. And then it's going to be like 5 episodes of like, what's up with the raiders? Where are they at? Same with gas in the nether. It's always the same. All right, so that is how we're going to export our stuff, right? Now, here's a problem. If we remove all our saplings, we won't be able to place them. So my question is, can I blacklist saplings from this? I'm thinking no, not easily. So how do we do that? But also we don't want to totally blacklist saplings, because then we'll just have a chest full of saplings at some point, and that'll also break the tree farm. So how do we set this up so that, like, we keep a stack of saplings in there, and that's about it? All right, so I can transfer using this. Now, what if I did something like this? You ready? If I said saplings, and I only wanted 16, and I threw a stack of saplings in there. Oh, that's how much he moves at a time. Not what I wanted. All right, guys, I've got something of a plan, I think. If I were to, and I don't know if I want this to be ultimate. It might make more sense to be not ultimate. But let's start with this and see how it goes, right? But let's just, and this is temporary, but I'm just trying to figure out how this is going to work. So yes, dire wire, I know, but we will get there with it. So if I had a drawer, and in my drawer I had a storage downgrade, which means he can only store a single stack. And then we had that, he'll put a single stack in there, despite the fact that there's more in this chest, right? So what'll happen is the cart will come around, it'll completely empty all its junk into this chest, right? and then it'll hit here. It'll grab the one stack that's available in the oak drawer so that it can plant, and then that'll loop over and over. It'll drop off the stack, it'll get a new stack. It'll drop off the stack, it'll get a new stack. It'll drop off the stack, it'll get a new stack. And this can be fed from refined storage. Does that sound fair? That should work. Let's see what happens. As long as he moves on before the new stack arrives. Right, so he's dropping off all his junk. He's going to grab a stack. I mean, that kind of works, right? Now he's dropping off all his junk. He's going to get a new stack. That's going to repopulate. There might be an instance where we get 2 stacks in there, but that's not a big deal. Drops off all his junk, gets a new stack, moves on. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? I think that's kind of neat. I do. I think that's kind of neat. I mean, that should work, right? So he's expecting to send 64, so this is probably empty now because we don't have 64, but you get the point. That works. I think that works. I'm going to call that a win. So all we have to do now is hook up refined storage out here, and we should be groovy. Yeah? And that should work pretty well. I'm going to call that a yes. I'm going to call that a yes. That should work pretty well. So let's get a couple things going on, right? I had dirt. Where'd my dirt go? Totally had dirt. Swear I had dirt in my inventory. Might have used it all as I was testing out and playing with this a bunch. But here to plan. Okay. We will get some network components. Okay. So a transmitter, a receiver, and a card. And that shouldn't be too bad. How's my ancient debris doing, by the way? 361 ancient debris. Thank you, magic laser that generates ancient debris. Thank you. That's pretty cool beans, right? All right, so then there's your network cardy things, right? So we're going to have a receiver over here. Okay, and, you know, like, here's probably as good a place as any, right? So we can just literally just have a receiver here, click the card onto it, pop into our basement, get our transmitter cooking, pop the card inside, he's now connected, right? Then we can have an interface with a stack upgrade and a couple speed upgrades. Cool. All right, interface, stack upgrade, a few speed upgrades. Get me a stack of saplings, please. Oh, I already have one. Good. No more redstone need. I was testing with, like, using inventory checker, but it doesn't really work on the frame moving component thingy, so meh. I was hoping it would. It doesn't, because it never turns back into blocks, so it's always an entity. There might be a way to make that work, but yeah, no. Because you can give a redstone signal to these guys to stop them from connecting. Not really necessary. All right, so you're going to go here. You are going to keep a stack of saplings in stock. I always put things in the wrong spot. I really do. Cool. So then your logistical transferiness will be to you and you. Boom, 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 boom. So everything goes into the refined storage system. You're gonna logistical transferiness out, keeping this guy stack full, and he's going to, every time we take it out, a new one's gonna show up. Cool. So that should be everything. So now let's turn it on. So you on, and go. So he's gonna pick up the carts. He's gonna drive by. He's gonna dump out anything that's currently in his inventory. He's going to collect a stack of saplings. He's going to move on before the next stack shows up in the drawer. He's going to plant everything. And then he's going to dump out all his existing saplings, which we'll see go into the thing. Are you kidding me? 2 in 1 episode. Come on, guys. I am doing something. I am going to formally request an astral ritual that blocks those dudes from happening. I'm just saying. Something. Something that'll stop that from happening all the time. Like, is that a normal speed with which they arrive? Those dudes? I guess just because, like, I've got no mobs happening, right? No mob spawns happening, that it seems like it's like, hey, what's up with that? Now let's also get a feral flare lantern over here, if I may. Because I feel like lighting this area up and having things grow at night, because trees still need light to grow, right? Like, that's still a thing that needs to happen, I think. So, yeah. Feral flare lantern, get the area, you know, lit up a bit. We'll sleep through this night just so you guys have a better view of what's happening. But it looks to me like it's working, right? It looks really good, actually. I think there's a watering can, isn't there? There's a, yeah, something like that. Improves plant growth using water. Sweet. Now, if I really wanted to go bonkers, we could astral this up, we could Botania this up, we could blood magic, we could make this stuff grow significantly a bit faster, right? I'll just pick up all this water. That's not going to be a giant mess, is it? I just didn't want flowing water all over the place. I hate flowing water. So how does this work? I've not really tried this one out, I don't think. I mean, I can only assume that it's growing faster. 3x3 mode. Yeah, sure, why not? What in the what? Okay, that was cool. Okay. And then he drops off his wood. Boom, boom, boom. Gets a stack of saplings. And then that's cool, right? And then he's going to pick up that wood. He's going to drop everything off. All the saplings, all the things. And then onto another stack of saplings. I think that's cool. That works, dudes. What do we think? How do we like? Do we like? Because I feel like that works. I feel like that's a functional tree farm. 100%. Leave it alone. It should behave itself. I think. All right, wrapping up point for the episode then. Look at that. Boom. So we'll come back next episode. We will have more wood. And as a result of having more wood, we should now start having more sulfur. Because the existence of wood implies the existence of sulfur. Let me make sure that area is chunk loaded, by the way. Because I'm pretty sure it's not. Actually, nothing of this is. We'll just chunk load that whole area, isn't it? Actually, none of this area is chunk loaded, is it? I guess not. Yeah, these guys are force loaded. Technically, you're probably not force needing. Yeah, we should be cognizant of what we're actually forcing chunk loading on. But I should probably be force loading my base, right? I don't know if I need the whole astral area force loaded, but my base at the very least. Maybe you guys too? Am I out of force-loaded chunks already? I guess I am. Okay. Today I learned. We'll figure it out. Anyway, wrapping up point for the episode. So next episode, we'll come back. We should be having more fissile fuel happening now, right? Like if we check in here, we're going to start seeing sulfur dust show up. Cool. And yeah, see, look, fissile fuel is going up now. So that's good. We're getting... So all the wood is allowing us to make fissile fuel, which is awesome, right? Decent amounts of it, too. We'll come back next episode. We will have more fissile fuel. We will start working on the quantum mech armor suit, the mecha suit thingy, and then we will also want to start working on turning nuclear waste into plutonium so we can make the SMS thingy, right? So plutonium... I don't need unimores. Makes the SPS casing. That was close, right? That's what's going to make all the things for awesomeness, right? So SPS casing is what we use to make antimatter. It's the multi-block for antimatter. So we might look into that next episode too. So plutonium, more of this, right? I haven't been letting this run. I'm now a little gun-shy about letting this run when I'm not in the area. But, I mean, he does fine. He generates lots of power, right? 1 million RF a tick. It's comical how shenanigans that power generation is. But I mean, in fairness, it took a while to set up, right? It was work. All right, Donald20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Lots of fun with Create today, because you guys know I just enjoy playing with Create. It is just such a good mod, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. All right, take it easy, guys.